Hello everyone, my name is Xinqi Liu, and today I'll be walking you through my quick analysis of the UFC official website. We'll be looking at how well it holds up when it comes to usability and accessibility. Here's what I'll be covering. First, a brief intro into what the UFC website mainly does, and then I will dive into two usability principles from eight golden rules and two accessibility principles from the WCAG guidelines, and finally wrap it up with the quick conclusion. First, what the UFC website does. The UFC official website is basically the main hub for the fight fans. You can check out the upcoming matchups, fighter profiles, highlights, news, all that. It's visually very strong, super brand heavy, and definitely built for excitement. But how does that excitement translate into user experience? First, I will analyze it focused on two usability rules, consistency and informative feedback. First, consistency. In my opinion, this means making sure fonts, colors, layouts, or buttons all look and act the same across different sections. According to Schneiderman, consistent actions and visuals make interfaces easier to learn and remember. And UFC as a website actually does a pretty good job. Whether you are browsing fighter rankings or new news articles, the font, layout, color all stay the same. The bold red, black text, white backgrounds, it all feels very clean and cohesive. Next, offer informative feedback. Good websites let users know what's happening. If I click a button or scroll down, I should get some kind of response. Schneiderman calls this the informative feedback, and it can be small or dramatic depending on action. And UFC nails this, all right? There's a scroll progress bar, as you can see. When we scroll down, the bar move forward. Also, when you scroll in this page, the content will fade in with animations. It's subtle and gives you that feeling that the site is very alive and it's reacting to you. I will show this in detail in the live demo. And now moving to accessibility, I focused on two WCAG principles, perceivable and operable. Perceivable means making sure content is available to all users, especially for screen reader users or users with low vision. That includes using alt text, captions, strong contrast, and readable fonts. Here's a good example. UFC's record book page. When you use tool like Wave, it includes alt text and labels for elements. So users can use assistive technology and to get the key info. And also they also have like strong contrast and clear fonts. Operable. So operable is all about whether user can interact with the site using a keyboard, not just a mouse. That includes being able to tap through buttons or having something called a focus indicator. On this UFC matchup page, as you can see, you can use mouse to scroll down the information, but without a mouse, you can also use only keyboard by clicking on tab, and it will show which information you are selected, and it will show a black frame, which I will show detail in the live demo. So let's check it out with the live demo. Okay, right now we are in the UFC homepage, and at the first glance, you can see there are a very clear design with white background, black words, and red color for title and highlights. And if we go into like different sections, we can see they have a really consistent design throughout very different sections. They provide a really good consistency. And if we scroll down, we can see the animation effects, the picture fade in. Also, the title, if we scroll down to the top, it will change. Those animation effects, let the users know what they are doing, offer a very direct feedback. And also, if we go into a certain news section, we can see as we scroll down, there are red indicators to tell you how much you scroll down. And this is very good for providing feedback. And if you go to the athlete section, and record book and copy this page into this one wave, and we can see they provide alternative text for every pictures. And this is very good for users who use assistive technology. It provides them with very good perceivability. Also, if we go into the events, And going to certain files, we can see we can use mouse to check the information. But without mouse, we can also use tab on the keyboard to scroll down information. And they also have a very clear visual indicator to show where you are. So even though you are a keyboard user, you can easily navigate the site. It provides users with very good operability. To wrap up, the UFC website does a strong job with visual consistency, clear feedback through animations, and accessible design with readable text and alt content. It supports keyboard navigation with visual focus indicators, making it very operable for more users. Overall, the site aligns with both usability principle and accessibility principle, creating a very smooth but also inclusive experience.